Hello friends, today we will discuss with new topic Branchiostoma amphioxus. Myself Febi Paiva, Assistant Professor from the Department of Zoology, St. Joseph's College for Women, Alapura. So we'll just have the first introduction. We could see that these are the organisms coming under phylum Chordata, subphylum Cephalochordata, class Leptocardi, family Branchiostomidae, genus Branchiostoma, and the species Lancelet. These are popularly known as lancelet. It was being discovered by a German taxonomist Pallas in the year 1778. But then the problem was he considered it as a mollusk and he named it as Limax lancelatum. But then later in 1834, another person, Costa, a Italian zoologist, recognized it, and he recognized it as a primitive chordate and renamed as Branchiostoma. And it was being named as Branchiostoma owing to the perforated pharynx. And the name Amphioxus, the common name Amphioxus, was proposed by another person, Yarrell, in the year 1836. And we can see that when we discuss about its habit, we are very familiar. We know that it is marine in nature and they are seen in the shallow offshore sands in the temperate oceans. These organisms, we could see that they have a double mode of life. That is, as the picture says, mostly they remain buried in the sand in an upright condition. That is, their anterior, in this picture, it's very clear, it's anterior part protruding above the sand surface. At the night, whereas at the night, these come out into the water column and swim actively. And how they swim is by the lateral undulation of the body. And this undulation of the body is being contributed by the contractions of the muscle bands. We will be discussing about the muscle bands in the later session of the video. And when these organisms are disturbed, we could see that they jump out of these burrows and swim for a short distance and then they come back again and they bury themselves in the sand. These are ciliary feeders and they normally prefer planktonic microorganisms which are seen in the seawater. And these organisms are harvested in a large scale in for human consumptions in different parts of the world, especially in the eastern parts of the world. Now, when we discuss about the body, when we start with the shape, size, and color, we can see that the body, as the picture indicates, it looks like a small fish, and its size, the length, ranges from 5 to 7 centimeter, and they are slender in nature. They are laterally compressed, and on the both the ends, as the picture shows, both the ends they have a pointed ends, and so the names lancelet is being given. And we can see when we compare to the anterior part, the posterior part is more tapering. These are translucent and have a faint flesh color when alive. Now, when we discuss about the division of the body is divided into a large trunk region and a short posterior tail region. And we can see that they do not have any distinct head. And the anterior end of the trunk, it projects as a rostrum or snout onto the very tip. On the dorsal side, we can see that the trunk region extends as a rostrum or snout. Now, when we go with the apertures, we can see that the trunk have three openings. Apertures, the another term for the openings. They are the mouth, the atriopore, and the anus. And here in the mouth, we can see that it is oval in shape and it is a large opening and it is bordered by a free margins of oral hood. Whereas the atriopore, we can see that it is the opening of a space which encloses the pharynx, the external space, atrium. The opening, we call it as atriopore. and it is located, as the picture shows, mid ventrally. The ventral, almost in the middle portion, they have been seen, and they have seen just in front of the ventral fins. These are the ventral fins, and the opening is seen just in front of the ventral fin. Now the third opening is the anus. Anus is the opening of uh, the digestive tract. These are small circular opening, as you can see in the picture, and these are seen at the base of the caudal fin, and they are normally seen little bit left to the midventral line. And here, as we were discussing about the mouth, it has been bordered by a oral hood, and this hood is having a tentacular structures, and it is present, as we can see, this is present to the anterior end and just below the rostrum. And this hood part also is also contributes to the digestive system. And this hood, the margins, the tentacular margined hood, encircles or surrounds the circular mouth, large mouth. And now, next is the fins. These organisms do not have paired fins as we see in the fishes, like the paired pectoral fins, pelvic fins. We don't have any such paired fins, but yes, they do have fins, and that is three median unpaired fins. That is, the first one starts from the big anterior part, just after the rostrum is the dorsal fin, and it is seen on the midline of the dorsal area, and it extends till the base of the tail, where further it continues as a caudal fin, and this caudal fin encircles the tail region, and later on at the base from the anal region, it extends posteriorly as the third fin, that is the ventral fin. Next characteristic feature is the presence of folds. We can see that this is the ventral view of the organism, and this line-like structure indicates some longitudinal ridged structures. And here we can see that there are so many such longitudinal ridge on its ventral surface, and we call these ridged area as the epipleure. This is nothing but the folds, ridges. And on the lateral sides, on the two sides of these solid ridges, we could see hollow folds could be seen, and we call it as metapleural folds. So this metapleural folds are the hollow folds on the either side of the epipleure, and they continue in front till and joins or fuse with the rostrum. I mean, the oral hood, whereas we could see that they, from both the sides, the metapleural folds, they join each other just behind the atriopope. That is it just meet around the uh, atrium. And here also it's very clear, this is the circular mouth, large circular mouth, and the extended rostrum, and we could see the oral hood, which is having surrounded by which has been the margins are provided into tentacles. And now, another interesting feature is the body wall. Body wall consists of skin, muscles, and peritoneum. The outermost one is the skin, and we can see that the skin, it is having two layers, outer epidermis and inner dermis. And another characteristic feature of branchiostoma is that the epidermis is made up of single layer. It is made up of single layer of some columnar cells, which is resting on the basement membrane. But then the feature, we could say that these are the chordate organism, but we can see that on other chordates, we can see that the epidermis is multi-layered, so which indicate that this is a primitive feature which is seen in the branchiostoma. Non-chordate primitive feature is being retained even in this organism, even if it is a chordate. Another next inner layer is the muscle layer. and we can see that it forms the major part of the body wall, and it is seen as striated just below the skin. It appears as striated, and we can see that it is seen as very thick in the dorsolateral aspects of the body. It is seen as a very thick structures in the, especially in the dorsal and the lateral aspects of the body. And here we can see that these muscles are seen as metamerically segmented, repeated segments of segments, and we this appears as a V shape. From the picture it's very clear, it appears as a V shapes muscle blocks, and we can call them as myotomes or myomeres. And the innermost is the peritoneum, and the peritoneum we can see just below the muscle layer, and it is very thin in nature, and it consists of a single layer of mesodermal epithelium, which is again resting any layer it will be of the the skin or the surface, we can say they normally rest on the basement membrane. So here also this thin layer is resting on the basement membrane, and this peritoneum is responsible to release the coelomic fluid. Now next is the notochord. Notochord is otherwise known as chorda dorsalis. From the picture, we could very clearly see this red color road, and which is extending even beyond the starting of the nerve cord. It is extending till the tip of the rostrum, and we can see that this forms the skeletal structure of the branchiostoma. It is elongated, cylindrical, solid, and it is rod-like structure. And we can see from the picture it is tapering on two sides, and it extends throughout the length of the body. And by position, it lies mid dorsally in the middle dorsal portion, beneath the nerve cord and above the digestive tract. Above the digestive tract and beneath the nerve cord. And we can see that they extend beyond the nerve cord. That is the characteristic feature, as I said earlier also. This is the starting of the nerve cord, and this is the notochord. So it extends even beyond the nerve cord anteriorly. And but then in all other chordates, we can see that the notochord or the vertebral column starts just after the nerve cord, just behind the nerve cord. So this is another characteristic feature of the branchiostoma. And this this characteristic feature we can say can be associated with the burrowing nature of these organisms. Now, when we go with the notochordal structure in detail, we can see that the notochord is made up of linear cells. We call it as the notochordal plates. These are the linear cells. It's arranged throughout the length of the notochord. And this is been surrounded by a protective sheath-like structure. We call it as notochordal sheath. And the cells, the width, we can see 1 to 4 micrometer. The thickness of the each cell is just 1 to 4 micrometers, and the two and these cells, these linearly arranged cells, are being separated from each other because of the presence of gelatinous spaces between them. Now when we discuss about the notochordal sheath, it is made up of three layers, that is outer, middle and inner. The outer and middle layer is formed of collagen fibers, whereas the inner one is made up of amorphous, which is almost like the nature of basal lamina of any membrane. So that's all. Thank you.